So when we do our activities, our cleaning, our clearing, whether it's mental, whether it's smudging, whether it's candle work, whatever we're doing to, really carve out the articulation of the energy we're putting out there by using these tools, we're transforming the energy.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that's meant for you to have a lesson and have an experience, you don't want to like protect yourself from the experience, but you do want to keep your energy comfortable.
Right.
So you can still have the lesson and stand outside and be the observer, be the viewer. It isn't a lesson that you need to sit in and transmute and learn and feel from, or is it something that is not related to you and you just need to transmute it so it's off the planet forever?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Like I actually had this discussion a few days ago when somebody said that they asked for protection. And I, I can only teach what I know. So
Right.
my response to that was, why are you asking for protection? Like anybody that would be a client of Audrey's, a client of mine, a client of any other person that works with the light, we're already protected. So when you ask for protection, that's part of your co-creation. So you're literally saying, dear universe, I would like to experience something that requires additional protection. And you actually bring that into your experience. So I tell people,
Right.
thank your higher power, thank your ancestors, thank whoever it is that you want for their guardianship. Don't ask for protection.
Right. Well, and it goes back, like you said, co-creating, and this, like Jen's word is co-creating, and I usually call it self-fulfilling prophecy. They are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can use those words interchangeably, and that's true. Just like when we talk about conscious language. Okay, so when we're speaking, guys, spelling of words, where do you think the word spelling came from? We're speaking into reality. Our thoughts and words create our reality. Okay, it's like we're in the video game. This is what people call the matrix, and what you're thinking and feeling creates a reality.
Right.
So if you are going around saying I want and I need, and this is part of your vocabulary on a regular basis, you are actually creating the space of lack.
Yep.
Because we all know, right? The universe is completely abundant, and everything that we've ever need, or must see there, it's even hard. I'm doing it too. Everything that we could ever desire is at our fingertips.
Oh.
And that kind of goes back to checking ourselves on our energy, because even for me, I've been doing this for years, and as soon as the books are a little slow, there's not a whole lot of stuff cooking in the office. I have two businesses, the spirituality business, so I make the jewelry and I do, my readings and my work and my alchemy. And then I have my electrolysis business. It's been kind of slow. And that's because I'm at another crossroads. And this is probably for a lot of people to relate to this.
A lot of times we find ourselves in crossroads too, when it's all aligned, like with the planets. But I also wanted to say symptoms of, I know that I have realized that there are certain symptoms I will present or behaviors when something is off. So that's my notification to say, okay, well, I need to do a little bit more of my own work. Whatever that work may be, it's going to be different for everybody.
Feelings are indications of something else going on, something that needs to be cleared, revisited, transmitted, something else going on. To quote Alison Engel, one of the quantum astrologers I work with, we're not storage containers. We're not supposed to be storing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is to feel it, and that's all it wants you to do is feel it, and then it relieves. How do we get there? So Jen's really aware of when she's taking it on and projecting what other people are putting onto her, and that's when she knows something is up and there's something that needs to be reworked. And I always say that what the joy is a representation that you're working with your contract. And I'll tell you, most of the people that are on this planet, and this is most like 90% up, have been, working in this realm and in this way for a long time, quite a few lifetimes. We are probably contracted to be doing really big things. There is a lot of density on this planet that cannot go. We cannot continue in this way, and we have to transmute it. So that's why there's so many more people waking up, and there's so many more people doing this work, because this energy has got to go, and the only way it can get off the planet is essentially through us. We have to transmute it. We have to bust through it.
Recognize it. We have to recognize it.
The priority here is ourselves. You're here to have an experience. We should be focusing our energy mostly on our own self and our own happiness and our own joy. And all the other people around us and things that we interact with will benefit from that naturally.
Right.
It can be exciting, especially around now, Halloween time. Everybody's really interested in the veil's thin, and they're getting a lot more information maybe. And that's all great, but if it's taking you away from your joy, what good are you to the planet if you're in anxiety?
Right.
You work with your intentions, and you work with your, I feel like there's a better word than magic. I feel like it's better. There's something.
Personal power.
Personal power. Exactly. You work with your personal power. The candles, the herbs, the spices, the crystals, they're all tools for us to help really, really focus our energy. And sometimes they can be more than that. Sometimes they're telling me now it could be offerings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. They can be offerings. What do you do if you don't have it? What do you do?
You call Jen. She mails it out.
Yeah, but on the real, I tell people this all the time, and it's look at me like I'm fucking crazy because, it makes it so I don't get the sale. But it's like, do you need the herbs? No. Do you need a candle? No.
Is it a nice tool if you don't really? Because here's the thing. A lot of times we tell ourselves that we believe in A, B, and C, and then, our head chatter tells us otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what the tools are about. It's helped you visualize, to help you really believe, to help you to have the faith over fear.
Yeah.
Because most times when we feel like we need to do something, some sort of spell work, some sort of offering, some sort of ritual, it's because we're feeling a sense of lack in some area.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually because 9 times out of 10, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think that there's something that's more important, but 9 times out of 10, this really does stem from having fear in some category. Fear that you can't accomplish it, fear that it's not going to work out, fear that you're not doing something right, fear that somebody else is not doing something right, fear that whatever it may be, however it comes in, whether it's physical, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Accepted, not being able to pay your bills, wherever it's coming in as, it's fear.
Right. And the thing is that when you light a candle or you give an offering, you're giving it to spirit. But you can offer gratitude without a single tool. You can ask without a single candle. A lot of that stuff is there for us in order for us to see a tangible result with a candle or whatever the case is. That's why I will tell people too, if you want to do a spell and you don't believe in it, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Or you won't recognize what it's trying to tell you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And then there's this idea too that we always preach, and I know Jen is very clear on this, when working with tools like that, there's no way that you should not, people could try and it'll come back in a negative way, but you should not be infringing on anybody else's free will.
Right.
Really just to get things moving when things are stuck.
Right.
And all the herbs and spices and everything, they all have these glorious frequencies. They all have energy. So when you bring that in with your crystals and you're bringing energy in.
Not to interrupt you like I always do, but I think that those tools, crystals, herbs, candles, whatever, They are wonderful for beginners because it helps us see what we're doing in the tangible. Because I do and use candles all the time. But for me, I'm so fucking connected to them. It really wouldn't matter if I had them or not. I just really enjoy using them. But I know in my heart of heart, if I ain't got a fucking green candle and I just need to manifest the money, then I can do it without that. All I have to do is send up the request and the gratitude, and boom, bam, there you go.
Right. And having the candles and the herbs, it slices out the time. Because I'm gonna, full disclosure, I've been aligning with the idea that I don't have a lot of time, and that's creating me not having any time, which is a bunch of bullshit. I'm in my own hamster wheel. But
But you recognize it. You're like, I'm gonna fix this.
I'm gonna fix this. So by me, and I just got the most fantastic package. I think I'm gonna do a little unveiling so that you guys can kind of see what Jen can come up with, and what, if you guys are interested in maybe carving out the time to be able to do the same thing. But it's carving out the time, it's focusing me, it's grounding me, it's reconnecting me with the earth fae, not making a lot of time to do those things for myself. This is a really good way to bring those energies in, and it gets me to do the work that I need to. And, we use the word work all the time because it is work, and it can be very taxing at times, and you have to be extremely aware and, I would say, disciplined. But at the same time, it's fucking fun.
It is fucking fun. It is fun. And you know what? When you just said that, that really made me be able to put what I was saying into better words. Like,
Yeah.
do you need it? No. But if you enjoy it, then putting a candle together and doing it the way you do it or the way you feel is really like a meditation. It's your time dedicated to yourself for your specific needs.
So Jen and I both have tools that we use. I kind of dabble with the spirit, like on the body, the gems, little agate here. And Jen has the same. She has not the agate, but she definitely has on body jewels. She's got turquoise around her neck, really good for spirit communication. So these are great tools. I make the jewelry, the bracelets and earrings, stuff like that.
Amazing, unique jewelry. Let's just clarify. You don't just slap it together. Basically, what Audrey and I did was we sent each other packages. So she sent me this, which is just my absolute, is it focused?
Not yet, almost.
Favorite.
So, there we go. So that is pyrite and phantom amethyst. And little chunks of pyrite too, I think. Copper maybe as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
There's copper. This is my fave. And then there's this one, which is darling.
Oh, I love that. That'll be good for your new endeavor at the Whirlpool. That big chunk of hematite. Keep your boots on the ground.
And this one I got a while ago, but I wear it all the time.
Ooh, I love that. So that's turquoise, tiger's eye, and copper, and maybe amber.
And then there's this one.
Oh, I love that one. And it does make me feel like I'm assisting in the field. So everything is energy. The stones have energy. They create frequency. And they do certain specific things and help work with you to assist you in things you may already doing. If you've got some stuff going on, you've got some fear coming up, wearing a crystal that infuses or transmits stuff like that. Let's say kyanite. Kyanite's a blue crystal that's really good with transmitting lower vibrational frequencies. Citron also does something similar. So I'm not saying if you wear it, then you don't have to invest in it. You definitely, as Jen said, you have to believe in it. You have to work with it because it's the thought that's doing the work. Crystal will somewhat help or ease in or support that energy to move. And the same way, plants, herbal energies have vibrational frequency. So where the stones are having the influence, so do the different herbs. They help set the intention. Again, your mind is really the one that's in control. You're really focusing on it. What you focus on grows. So we're using the frequency of herbal remedies. Each of these herbals have their own frequency, and just putting that kind of mixing it together like a cauldron of love and joy and gratitude. And this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to go through. This is what Jen has sent me. So here we go. So we've got some, Jen, feel free to add in any commentary. These are rose petals. Jen, what do you use rose petals for generally?
Typically they can be used for a lot of different things, but I like to use them as an offer to the female goddess because she will be the one that can move mountains. And so it's usually just an offer of gratitude for the assistance.
Absolutely. And I think that's a lot that resonates with me so hard, because on the end of like really energy and how it's working for me, I'm really having to reinstill my faith and let go to the natural process, natural flow of the universe, and allow the universe to take care of me as it's supposed to do. So what I'm doing is, maybe thoughts that are not positive or supporting, or maybe a little bit in fear, that's blocking the flow. So the divine feminine, what Jen was speaking on, is all about receiving and being bountiful and being abundant, fully, possibilities are endless. We have frankincense. Frankincense is really one of my personal favorites. Many religions use frankincense. So this is copal.
Love that.
And then we have patchouli. This looks like a new one.
Patchouli is wonderful for any request that has to do with abundance, finances, resources, opportunity therein. It's a really, really good herb. You can do a lot of things with patchouli. You can anoint a candle with the herb or the oil. You can take some and make like a money sachet. You can sprinkle some in your registers, in your wallets, where you keep your money. Patchouli is all associated with money and finances.
Very cool. And then the other new one is lavender.
Lavender, a lot of people think that lavender is really good for stress relief, which it is. But what a lot of people don't know is that lavender also has a very gentle, dominant energy to it. So sometimes if we know we're going to be a little resistant or we need an extra push, you can add lavender to your work, oil, herb, whatever, to assist in gently nudging you towards your goal. It's almost like that feminine mom figure saying, get up and embrace your essence.
And then so we have benzoin. How am I saying that?
Benzoin.
Yep.
So benzoin, copal, frankincense, and myrrh all mixed together and burned as like an incense will purify, cleanse, transmute, open up airways to like higher beings of communication. It really, really raises the frequency of your area. Mm-hmm. And it smells delightful.
Yes. And then this one was the myrrh that we just kind of mentioned a little bit too. Increase the power of any incense and combined with it, usually burned with frankincense. And this is also too for those of us who are tapped into or working with deities, the Christ energy, frankincense and myrrh, Christ energy. Well, that's the thing. Christ is a super, super high vibrational frequency. However you choose to look at the stories, or whether that's something you choose as a main vein of your belief system and that your life is based around Christianity, or if you're like myself and you really resonate with the energy of Jesus Christ, but adapt to no organized religion, still call on the Christ energy regularly.
So a lot of people don't know that with resins, like you literally have to crush them. So you can use a mortar and pestle. You can use like a grinder, but it would have to like a coffee grinder, but it would have to be something that's dedicated, because the resin, it ends up getting very sticky. And a lot of times what I do to burn resins, instead of using like the charcoal, I actually don't care for the charcoal. Like I don't care for the smell of it. I just mix it with other herbs, and then the herbs will help the resins burn.
Right. Then we have these candles. How pretty. So we're going to use green for gratitude. And I also like green for trust, because I know that's in me and I know I trust the universe, and there's just a lot of muck on top of it right now. And I want to burn that off and realign with the full trust and the full faith and everything, really, in myself, in my own part, which I know it's there. There's just a lot of energy that needs to be cleared. This is part of this. If you talk to energy workers and do this kind of work and they're telling you that they never have to do this and they're golden all the time, they're full of shit. Know when your card is pulled and know when you need to do the work. But so when you're working with those herbs can be broken down into oils, and you can use the oils in the same way that you use the herbs. And she's come up with some really good really good ideas for these oils, and it kind of is just an assistance to assist. And the oil has to do with vibrational frequency, just like the herbs.
Oh yeah.
Frequency in the mind and stuff like that to create new things. But we have prosperity oil here, tarot oil, I'm a big tarot fan, and psychic cleaning oil. And I'm assuming the tarot oil is super high vibrational and helps me connect with spirit a little bit better, helps things come in a little bit clearer, maybe a little bit louder in the clear audience. Known as a powerful aid in any type of fortune telling, to the spirit of La Madonna will come to assist you with your tarot readings wearing this oil. I love that.
You can mix and match your oils. And what you're going to want to do is when you put the oil on your hands, you want to clap, and it kind of like activates it. You get it going, right? And then you're going to want to anoint the oil and pull it down towards the base and on the base, because you're pulling it into your life. And then if you put the patchouli on there, you can just put it around, but I would lay it down in a clockwise position because we're bringing things towards us. Once you light it, you're just gonna wanna let it burn. Ideally, Thursdays are the best day of the week to do money prosperity candles. Anything for abundance, resources, opportunities, whatever the case is. You light the candles, you let them burn. Once they're done and they go out, first of all, the way that the wax melts, how long it takes for your candle to burn, those can all be indicators as far as how long it's going to take you to achieve. If your people are saying this is the right direction for you to go in and it will be achieved, they might say you need other work elsewhere, whatever the case is. When you're doing your little candle work, okay, you're the crystal lady. So you can even take crystals that you feel pulled to, or they tell you, you add anything you want to what you're doing. Do it whatever the fucking way you want. I said to a girl the other day, she wanted to learn how to do this. And I said that you got to think about it like scrapbooking, right? Like if we were at a scrapbook meet, like my scrapbook would look different than your scrapbook, even though they're all scrapbooks. It's just a craft. You do it whatever way you want. Same way you do your bracelets. Nobody makes these kind of bracelets because they're yours. It's how you do it.
Yeah. She also sent me some fantastic retrograde lotion. I wanted to bring up, when we're talking about retrograde, like, I understand retrograde is intense. I understand that a lot of stuff comes up and we find ourselves in the backyard with our 9-inch candles, and we're doing shit that we are, and that's cool. We're doing that, and that's good. However, even though it feels chaotic and like maybe an uncomfortable experience, we need to be so grateful that the planets are helping us bring this to the surface so that we can clear it out.
There are a lot of positive things that will come out of retrograde if we just stop. A lot of times for me, it's planning. It's like, plan, stop. This is not perfected yet. You need to reorganize yourself. You need to re-energize yourself. Because a lot of times when we hit direct, we hit the ground with our feet running. So we have to be prepared for that. Okay, let me tell you why I made retrograde oil, because every time we would go into Mercury retrograde, my fucking vehicle would break. And it wasn't just one vehicle, it would be every vehicle I own. So when I bought my new truck, I was like, this shit, I ain't dealing with it.
No.
So I literally used retrograde oil like Armor All. like armor roll. And prior to this retrograde, no lie, hand to the creator of the universe, okay? I went outside and went to start my truck, brand new fucking truck, wouldn't start. There were no lights left on. There was no nothing. I needed to jump. And like for a week prior to, now we were only in the shadow period at this point too, by the way. But like for a week prior to, right? And so I was hearing like, wipe your truck down, wipe your truck down. So after that happened, I wiped my truck down. Now, mind you, I got a hematite rosary in that bitch. I got sachets up the yin yang in that motherfucking car, and I will wipe my truck down with retrograde oil every Mercury retrograde. And guess who was the only vehicle's car that didn't break down during this retrograde? Mine. My belief in all of this is so
important.
impeccable, yeah, and important that's what gives it the power. I mean, somebody could be like, this isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And guess what? Your fucking car is gonna break down because you don't believe in it. But like, I have so many different hats. I have this hat and I have this hat.
I like that one.
How dare you call me a witch?
Fucking psycho.
Like, whatever gave you that impression? We're migrating upstairs since you migrated outside. Fucking love this.
It looks so good.
I love it. It's great. Every time I sit here and edit this podcast, like for days, that fucking do 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 do.